Don't miss the inaugural All-American Cup Team Tennis Tournament, presented by Thomas J. Henry, at the Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas, November 11 through 13. The All-American Cup features 10 top men's U.S. players competing on 2 teams, East versus West, each captained by the greatest tennis doubles team of all time, Mike and Bob Bryan. You don't want to miss this. Brother versus brother, East versus West, best versus best. Tickets on sale now at allamericantenniscup.com.
Pickle, let's go to the hotline. The regional semifinals, the third round of the Texas high school football playoffs, are coming up this week, and there's some new blood. One of those teams is the Keller Indians, who are through to the regional semifinals, the third round of the playoffs, for the first time since 1966. And here to talk about it is the head coach of the Keller Indians, it's Coach Carl Stralow. Coach, how are you?
Doing great. It's a good day to be an Indian.
I would say it has to be a great week to be an Indian. You guys, how do you guys have practice this morning? I have to imagine it was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, it's the beauty of not having school and being able to relax our times a little bit. And the kids had a really good workout and bounced around like you would expect them to be with the level of excitement we have right now.
It's exciting because you guys are through to the regional semifinals with a 23-21 win over Midland Legacy. Going into this matchup, we talk about how there's history to be made. You got this is the farthest that Keller has gone in almost 50 years. Was that something that you talked about with your guys, or was it something that like we're just doing our thing and we're going to put one foot in front of the other?
We practiced that all week. It's one game to earn another one, and play as long as you want to play if you're playing as hard as you possibly can. Now, I did pull a little gamesmanship and ask the bus drivers on the way to Midland on Friday to pull over in Ranger, Texas, and we pulled up to their field and in the Caliche parking lot and got the guys off the bus and explained what we were talking about now. And you could just see the light bulb go off. And anytime you can get them to think it's even more special, sometimes they play even harder. And they really reacted well to that. We talked about in our meetings throughout the prep on game day. And they played really well early and then fought really hard late to hold on to that one. And I couldn't be more proud. And hopefully that had something to do with it.
Well, and you mentioned, the bus ride, because you guys home field, flip it for home and home, and Legacy wins it. So you guys have to go out to Midland to Astound Broadband Stadium. Coach, I'm looking up and down your schedule. I guess you had that win at Odessa there in week 3. Does that feel now even more important considering you guys had to get on the road and go out to Midland in the second round of the playoffs?
What's crazy is going back to 2013, we played in a classic out there where it was Midland Lee one year, Midland the next. And the reason we did that for several years was we were District 3 or 4. And if you win your first round playoff game, you're going to have to get on a bus. And it doesn't need to be the first time. The year before, I guess in 2013, the furthest we had gone was Pennington. And so we wanted to include travel in our non-district, and it finally paid off. And actually, it was a year we played at Shotwell and at Ratliff on a day trip. I said, guys, this one's going to be easy. We get to spend the night and everything. And so they bought right into it. And if you've never traveled that, I think that could have been hurt us. After the game, I made a joke that we might flip for for Astound Stadium because it went so well. But no, we've been working on that for 7 or 8 years. We just finally won a playoff game and got to do it.
Talking with Carl Stralow, the head coach of the Keller Indians here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. All right, Coach, let's talk about this defense because this defense has hit another gear here of late. You guys hold Eels Trinity to just 10 points, and really hold them down to just 257 yards total offense in your bi-district round. Last week against Keller, against Midland Legacy, you guys forced 3 turnovers, 3 interceptions to come up with the win. What is it about this defense that's working? How have you seen them kind of grow throughout the course of the year?
Well, they understand their job, and as we've cleaned it up throughout the year, they trust if they do their job, their teammates going to do the cover up for them. So we're playing really good team defense, and they're playing they're playing more physical than they're capable of, which I'm real proud of because we're not the biggest bunch. but they play really hard and they fly around and they have grown up together. They find a way to go pick balls off and got great ball skills. They're little kids that have been in our camp since they were 7 years old, and it's just all coming together. But it's a good group.
It most certainly is. You guys are certainly rolling right now. And then on the other side, the offense, the 1-2 punch that you guys have had with Trey Guerra, your quarterback, and then Jaden Hart, the running back, who are really kind of leading the way offensively for you. Two guys who are seniors on a team that does have a fair number of youngsters who have stepped up. How important? I mean, the numbers are impressive. Trey's thrown for 21 touchdowns, Jaden's run for 17, but just those guys, as far as their leadership roles that they bring, how important have they been in that regard?
Our seniors on the offensive side of the ball, and there's not very many of them, which is fun. And adding Amari and Henry to that group, they just have a work ethic about them, and it's a lunch pail work ethic. So the younger kids just follow their lead, and they practice hard. They love football, and they make good decisions on and off the field, which it makes it easy to follow. But just how we've been a take what you can get offense. We have a receiver that's leading Amari and Henry that's leading the Metroplex in receiving yards. Well, Midland Legacy was bound and determined, and they put a Power 5 corner and covered it up with another college to be safety and doubled him all night. So he got all afternoon. So he had one catch for 4 yards, but was selfless enough to go in motion and draw the attention away so that we could do other things. So it's the part where they're playing for one another and they don't worry about me statistics. It's about we statistics is why I think we're winning.
Carl Stralow of Keller joined us here on Texas Football Today. It's on to the next one, Coach. 11 a.m. Saturday at Choctaw Stadium in Arlington. You guys get a matchup with the Louisville Fightin' Farmers. I know you've been working on the Farmers for a minute now, and I'm not going to ask you to tell you what your plans are on Saturday. But when you take a look at this Louisville team, what are you up against, and what's it going to take to get the win?
They're giant up front on offense. Yeah. So how that matchup plays out, like I said, we're not very big, but so we're going to have to run around them because I don't think we'll get through them. They have a very athletic quarterback, and they've got some really good skill players on offense. Defensively, they have 3 guys in the secondary that could play anywhere in the Metroplex, really good players, and they play very good team defense, and they're very physical. So it sounds like it's got a chance to be a really loud football game from ground level. So, but yeah, we're preparing just like any other game.
But this isn't any other game, specifically because it takes place on Thanksgiving week. And you mentioned there when we were talking off the top about how with the school off, it's a little bit different. What is the schedule going to be like, knowing that on Thursday you're probably going to want to get you guys a carbo load, so to speak, on Thursday. What's the schedule going to look like this week?
Well, not by prowess. We got to practice on Thanksgiving a couple of years ago due to the late start for COVID, and we played Friday at noon, and we were a little sluggish, so it was real important for me to try and get that Saturday slot on top of playing on the road on Saturday, so that Thursday could be our no sweat day. It's a day where we go out in shorts and helmets and just break up the contact, and then we'll do a 12-period practice on Friday. So it really laid out good that we're not going to have to make any collisions in practice on our Thursday practice, and go eat some turkey, get a good night's sleep, and get some of that out of our system during our Friday practice so we can be back to normal on Saturday.
He's Carl Stralow. He's the head coach of the regional semifinal bound Keller Indians. Coach, we sure appreciate your time. Congratulations again on everything you guys have done so far, and best of luck Saturday against Louisville. Enjoy the week.
That's the first time I've heard anybody say regional semifinal, and it's got a nice ring to it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks, Coach.
Take care.
There he goes. Carl Stralow, head coach of the Keller Indians. Join us here, Texas Football Today.
It always hits you a little different when someone else says it and it's not you.
Yeah. He was one of our assistants when I played at Coppell.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I know. I've known him for quite a while. Excited to see Coach Stralow having success there at Keller. He's been there for 11 years and making some history there with the Indians.
Surprised he didn't. He was talking about how big Louisville is up front. I'm surprised he didn't say they look like you back in the day.
I'm shocked he didn't say it too, but what are you going to do? He's, appreciate Coach Stralow hopping on with us.